This Metaventure production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
Established in April 2021, Upland Development United is the oldest and most exclusive and transparent no development collaborative in the Upland Metaverse. Contact Morcheese of N.65 for more information. Warning! This podcast is produced by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and contains unsolicited and heavily biased opinions which are solely the views of the individuals involved. It does not include investment advice of any kind and you are responsible for undertaking your own financial, including tax liability research relevant to your own individual circumstances.
Taking over the Upland. Upland Development United. Total meta domination.
Chicken cheese. G'day and welcome to the UDU Podcast, UDU number 65. For most of you, it's Wednesday, 31st of August. No, that's not right. See, this is what I said. I'm not prepared today. For me, here in the future, it's Wednesday, 31st of August. But for most of you, it's actually Tuesday, the 30th. I'm Motormouth Ben 68, and I know I certainly wouldn't be here. And by default, that means you also wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my second best mate in the metaverse and co-host Morcheese. How the bloody hell are you doing this morning, cheeses?
I love the names you gave us. You need to do it for everybody.
Yes. We had a bit of fun in the pre-recording. Yeah, so if you didn't catch the Wine and Cheese show, Cheese has been demoted to my second best mate in the metaverse. So apologies for that. Cheese.
Oh wait, because you're the Zuck guy.
Yeah,
the guy you're cook for.
Yes, the Zuck guy. How are you anyway?
Yeah.
We haven't caught up the last couple of days. What's doing?
Who, me or Zuck?
You. I'm talking to you.
You. I'm good. You know, just all this excitement going on the past few days is pretty overwhelming, surprising, some anger, some happiness, confusion.
Well, that's just life in the metaverse all summed up, isn't it? Happiness and confusion and anger and frustration.
Yeah. But I've been a busy cheese. I've been so busy. So I have to finish the Scooby NFT, but I also am doing some sprite work, which is coming out really awesome for TML. And I'm also doing some work with Dak and Mass Chef with our Danu Games Guild that we created. I don't think we're supposed to really be talking about it just yet, but yeah. But that's coming along great. And then Coop just reminded me to put something together. I'm busy, Ben. I'm so busy.
Nice. And just to let you know, I've got a Cheezels has low bandwidth warning come up. So if you happen to disappear,
I do?
Yeah, I don't know. I know you had PC problems, so maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. Anyhow, yeah, that's the last couple of days, or especially yesterday, has been extremely busy, as you can imagine, with Outdoor Decor kicking off. So usually all of the prep work that I do has not been done. So this is going to be an extra special episode. So no, I wasn't telling you to shut up. No.
I thought you said put DK.
Anyhow. Today we've got the Breaking Badly news segment, of course. We've got Upland Development United updates from the OG Genesis Primum Nodi Edificantes Node Development Team within and extending from the Upland Metaverse. And yes, of course, we'll finish up with the Upland Mash and roll the 1 million UpX wheels. And we've got 2 weekly challenges to role and another one to set up, of course. If you are watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify and wondering how you yourself can get involved live with your very biased opinions and your own chance at the 1 million UpX wheels, we drop the link to the Zoom within the Metaverse Ventures Entertainment server each and every week, Tuesdays at about 6:15 p.m. UTC time. Link is in the description, of course. Now, we do have a few extra people in today. Who we got in, Cheese? What's going down? Some new faces?
Some new faces. We have Brown Hype here. Welcome, welcome. Very cool, very cool. I love your hair. It's very luscious and
Thank
thick
you.
and beautiful. We have Zuck. Who's the Zuck?
Somebody's renamed themselves to Zuck.
They just want you to be a cuck for them.
It's hilarious.
We got GFG. We got Umbrella Boy, Jazz, we got Dog, Shacklin, Coop, Finn, Option, Dactastic, The Pod. Oh, it's NFT Architect.
Nice.
I promise I'm not drunk, people. I promise.
Yeah, as I said, that's what drunk people say. All right, for the how-to UDU segment this week, we'll be outlining the how-to basics of creating an OG UDU node, and for the how-to Upland segment, we'll be discussing some of the requirements and mechanics of setting up a Metaventure. We'll see how we're going for time, but we'll also try and squeeze in another Metaverse Spotlight on Outdoor Decor manufacturing. So if you're on live and you have any questions, get them ready, and we'll see if we can bang through some of those. Because yes, finally, after 18 months of waiting and planning and waiting and waiting and more waiting, we have got the green light for the Samurai Aquatics and Decor business to start manufacturing. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's get straight into the Breaking Badly news segment and take a look at what's happening in some of the crypto and Upland markets, assuming that I can press the right button. Here we go. All right, so a lot of red in the old markets again, but first up, we've got the global crypto market has dropped again down below $1 trillion, just under, well, I say just under, but it's actually an 8% drop. So we're down to 955 billion, and Bitcoin's dominance has also dropped a little bit, down from 39.9% to 39.3%. Pretty flat in the old 90-day average transaction volumes and the trading volumes. 76.3 million UpX traded for the 90-day average from last week, and 78.1 this week. And for the trades, pretty flat, 4,107 last week, 4,180 this week. Not much going on there. The crypto, ooh, lots of red there. Yum, 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 yum. Bitcoin down 9%, Ethereum down 10%, Wax down 5%, Engine down 12%, Ripple down 6%, Solana down 15%. Now, Cheese, did you catch that there was, I caught something on Twitter where there's some ungodly amount of Solana's been locked up or something? Did you catch any of that?
I didn't.
No, I'll have to check that out myself too.
What is that? I read something about an ETH merge happening in the middle of September.
Ugh, yuck.
So I don't know what is going to happen with that. It's supposed to, like, that was the it's going to change it from proof of work to proof to stake or something.
Yeah, it's finally switching. It's been, for the last 2 years, they've been talking about it for all the miners, and people have been resistant to get rid of all their graphics cards, but now they're finally going to do it, apparently.
Pulling the plug.
Proof to stake is a really interesting trend now. I'm kind of digging that.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. People are loopy and they tend to overreact to changes. So maybe this is what's happening. It's going to affect Matic and a few other things. So we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, like I said, I only just caught the headline
Yeah.
or something. So EOS has taken the biggest hit, down 31%. Was $1.78 last week, down to $1.36. And we did say last week that it was on a bit of a pump, and you should not go chasing green candles. So hopefully you didn't, and you didn't get wrecked, as they say. And Polygon's down 5%. Cardano and Tron are all both down 2%. So as I said, I'm still just gobbling up every day, little by little. Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah, I would love to get more Polygon. If it takes a bit of a dive, I would love to add to my thingy thing,
Your thingy thang, your huddle bag.
my huddle bag.
Nice. All right, in the upland cities that we focus on, San Francisco is down 6% on both the USD and UPEX. So we've gone from, no, it's up 6%
No,
in USD and down 6% in the UPEX. My apologies. So we were at $16 last week, up to just under 17, 25,250 UPEX, down to 23,800. It was interesting. We, as part of the chat we had with Shaq, we talked about the floor price there and how, yes, the floor price looks like it's being suppressed, but if you look at the markups, it's still pretty healthy markups in the old San Francisco if they're flipping for 23,000. So it's not as bad as it seems at first glance. Manhattan is down and flat, was $60 down to just under $55. That's kind of
Nice.
Yeah. If you haven't had a chance to get into Manhattan yet,
This is
That's
it, baby.
looking very healthy. Not financial advice. Do your own research.
Not financial
yada,
advice.
yada, yada. Yes. Chicago. I can't believe these actually. Like the Chicago, LA, and Rio prices are just pretty.
I'm
They're
still buying LA, by the way, because I think LA, San Fran, Chicago, and New York, not financial advice, are going to be the ones to own down the line.
Well, it's going to spring back for sure. Yeah. Like LA was just under $5 last week, $4.95. Now $4.50. That's just crazy. That's really crazy. Yeah, 5,000 UPEX on the floor price too. You can go and look at the floors and you can say, yeah, it's the floor price, but the up squared so tiny and that sort of thing. But most people who are new to the game and they're buying into these new cities, most people are just looking to get the cheapest couple that they can. So
Yeah.
it is still a very valuable metric, even if it's just a very broad.
Look at the Bronx, baby.
All right, take it away.
Bronx USD up 9%, 8 to 880, and UPX up 10%, 11,499 to 12,770.
Nice. Yeah, it's the only one that we kind of focus on. That's taken a bit of a bump. Rio is just hilarious. Down 30% on the USD and down 35% on the UPEX.
And that's so weird because like that's the genesis opening of like international. Like what are people doing?
Well, I think it's just the fact that we had two expansions there, one after the other. So there's
all right, but you have to choose, people. Like seriously, this is you make a choice. All right, I decided to go slightly into Rio and bigger into Porto. We can't have it all. You can't have it all. To do that is to fail.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I wonder if that can't be FSA flippers. Surely not. Not at that price.
I mean,
$3. Oh well, they can't sell USD anyway, can they? FSA people?
Not for a while.
And that's isn't $3 like that's the lowest you can go?
Well, they can't sell it, but they could trade it.
Yeah, well, I mean, just for your average Joe Blow, like if you and I wanted to flip out of Rio, $3 is the lowest you can put a property at, isn't it? Maybe somebody in chat can confirm. I don't mess with USD, so I don't know. And if I do mess with the USD, it's not it's not trying to fight the floor, that's for sure. So yes, a bit all over the place. Finsky said, yeah, $3 USD is the minimum. So
what could also be happening are multi-accounters selling to their main account or trading to their main account, and then they're selling it for USD.
Yes, and all sorts of shenanigans related to that. Absolutely, could be the case. All right, over to you, Cheese. What else has been happening in the old Uplands this week?
Oh, a lot. Basically, we have the Portal collections were released. I got one collection. I got half of like 1/3 of another. But did everybody do good here? And I just want to thank Banana for that, because I was struggling the last day. I was like, if I had to own anywhere, because I don't like to read lately. I had his guide, but I was like, and your guide, like, what, tell me something to go. And he said to go to Say, and I went to Say, and I'm happy with that. Did you guys get lucky in Porto? That doesn't sound right, but yeah.
Yeah, you had to follow that up. That's good. Yep. Anybody jump in? I'm scrambling to do something.
Oh, nice, NFT architect. That's really good. You didn't go to Porto. I got 2 large props in the collection. That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, so the neighborhoods was, and this is going to be funny because I don't know how to pronounce these words. Sedofeda. You own 3 in there. Foz do Douro, own 3 in there. São Nicolau, 3 in there. Say, own 2. And in the streets was Rua da Flores, own 3 there. I almost got there, but they were so expensive. I should have just pulled the trigger and got it. Rua de Santa Catarina, own 3 there. Rua de São João. JOAO, own 3 there. So yeah, got 2 hospitals in Sedofedo. I bought and sold within 1 hour, doubled my money and flew out. Not bad. I'm one of those holder people. I got to change my strategy. Thrifty Trader Challenge in Porto. So if you are selling, buying, whatnot, you get points into that for their the Block Explorer. You could win that if you're in the top, 200, I believe, 250. I'm not sure, something along those lines. And then they open Metaventure Outdoor Decor Manufacturing. Y'all want to see? Y'all want to see our beautiful?
Oh, I haven't given you permissions. Let me do that quickly.
Mishies.
There you go. It should be good.
All right, let's see. Boop. Boop. So we are located right here, even though like our area is right there. We had to do this just for sizing for now, for the showroom thing. If that even is a thing, we have no idea yet.
Showrooms, yeah, no, that's definitely confirmed that we will be getting showrooms at some stage to build.
All right, and look at our beautiful store. Where's the backgrounds I made? Where's my background?
Only for the showroom. It would have been good to have something like that in the factory, though.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, yeah, it would have been nice. Would have been nice, but we have this so far going. The small factories, Ben just told me you can only do
2 spark is the
2
maximum
spark.
stakeable.
For each?
For each factory.
All right. No, for each item or just
Nope.
each?
The small factory can only
Wow.
stake 2 spark total.
That is horrible. That's so bad.
That's my wine. Can we get into that one later?
We can get
Yeah.
into it now. We could get into it now. Or wait, Ben
No.
looks like he has to use the bathroom. You want him to get into it later?
Yeah, I think we'll try and keep that all to one little segment.
Yeah, he likes to be organized.
That's when I just think of future me, help future me when it comes to cutting these up for clippage.
Okay.
Yes.
See, I could tell when I have to. All right. So also in addition to this, we also have people got their cars. They were able to move them onto their property,
Plots of
land, whatever. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, did those go to where they put their addresses, or did they just go wherever they wanted to go? I didn't really get into that.
I asked an URL and they said anywhere.
Anywhere. All right, cool.
Within the UI for the car, I believe there's an option to, like, you can choose the property you want to send through. Now, I haven't seen if there's a search function in there. If there isn't, that's going to be a pain in the butt. Like, what have I got? 6,000 something properties. If I got to scroll through 6,000 properties, like I have to do with trades, that's not going to be fun. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can confirm that, but that's something I haven't looked into.
I was listening in the cafe, and Russell got his car, and he was like, "Oh, they put it in Kansas. I don't want it there."
Oh, like a random city. Wow.
Yeah, I don't see. That's why I was asking. I don't know. I don't know if it was like a user mistake on his part or whatnot, but that was pretty funny. He was laughing about it, which was cool, but I thought it was funny.
Absolutely.
Oh, wait, Umbrella Boy says they got dumped on random prop and you can move them where you want. All right, cool.
Oh, you can just airdrop them from city to city, I would assume. Yeah. Get that done before they bring in transportation restrictions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, make sure.
Brown Hearts
no
asks,
showrooms.
manufacturing has opened, but no showrooms yet. Yes, that's correct. The factories are open and we've begun manufacturing, but we're going to have a leeway period to build up some inventory, but with 2 max spark staking. Like, anyway, I'll say that.
But you know what? I think I know why they did that, because they probably took the person in Metaventures that had the least amount of spark and set it to that person, so nobody has an edge.
Yeah, potentially, and I think I know the reason why too, so we'll dive into that a bit later. And NFT Architect has asked, is there a special showroom structure? Yes, but we haven't been given any ideas of what that is, or I've been given a basic outline of what the up-squared footprint might be, but other than that, we've got no idea. So I'm hoping it's some kind of rectangular kind of strip mall sort of thing myself, but we shall see. Yeah, watch this space, I guess.
What's the space?
All right, Wine and Cheese updates. We had a great chat with Shacklin this week, and she's somebody who's quite new to the whole Web3 space and Upland, but she's quickly solidified herself with fingers in all the pies, which is very cool to see. And she's all about building and strengthening communication between all of the various communities. So I don't know. Are you on, Shaq? Did you want to speak about that rather than me to speak for you?
Look at Decktastic.
No, she might not be on. So yeah, that was a great chat with Shaq. And as part of that episode, we have released the clips. More Cheese accuses Ben68 of being a cuck for Zuck. Big business versus user-generated content in Web 3.0. One I just released this morning was no mainstream attention for Upland yet. Why? And probably either late today or tomorrow, the last clip from that episode will be NFTs as the Web 2.0 and 3.0 bridge for mainstream companies.
Shaq is on.
Yep.
And Dak had his hands up.
Shaq and Dak. There you go. There's a new show there, the Shaq and Dak show.
The Shaq and Dak show. Oh my God. Shaq, no, but seriously, Shaq is amazing. And like, she's so sweet. She's so knowledgeable. She's a powerhouse. She's a networking maniac. And if anybody, wanted to work with somebody tenacious and ambitious and just like total powerhouse, I would hit Shacklin up and form that bond, because she's somebody to be reckoned with. Seriously.
Absolutely.
And what did Dak-tastic, what did you want to say?
I was just saying he's in for the Shaq and Dak show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love
And we
it.
did get some feedback that has since been deleted on that episode that it took about 40 minutes for us to finally get to the Shaq interview, but apparently that person completely misses the point that it's called the Wine and Cheese Show, and it is the worst show ever. We put it out there, but that's our whole thing. Like, we talk shit at the start, and then we eventually get to the guest, and our guests are invited to talk all the way through, and it's a part of getting them comfortable and that sort of stuff. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, you can't please them all.
First time
Sorry.
watcher feedback. Gotta love it.
I'm sure he was a lurker forever.
I'm getting distracted in chat. All right, so Samurai Aquatics and Decor updates. We will, like I said, we'll try and dive into that on the back end for a bit of a spotlight. But yes, Outdoor Decor manufacturing has begun, and got to give a huge thanks to both Jennifer and Lisette from the Upland team, and of course the wider team, for squeezing our request to change the official address of our factory from Midtown Terrace to the 42 17th Street address. That was something that we asked last minute. They initially said no, it's too late, and we kind of said pretty pleased with sugar on top, and they managed to squeeze that in. So yes, thank you very much, team, for that. Now, as far as the Samurai Aquatics and Decor server goes, if you're a bit of a super sleuth, you will see that I have changed the role for all of the new people that have onboarded. I changed it from Inaugurillas to, I think I changed it to Genesis Wave. So you're the first people that have onboarded into the server, kind of leading up to the beginning of manufacturing and kind of right on the cusp. I'm going to close that down this weekend. So we're going to have the Genesis Wave that's onboarded into the server, and then after this weekend sometime I'll switch that over to Wave 1 or something. I don't know, I'll come up with something. Now, we don't know at this stage what perks or things will be associated with having gotten in early, but no, we'll work something out. So if you're listening or watching and you haven't gone over to the Samurai Aquatics server yet, you may want to do that before this weekend. And I don't know when I'll do it, so I can't really tell you, but it shall be sometime this weekend. So yes, there's that.
Yes.
Now, what's happening? What am I missing?
Nothing. Dak is killing me with his little hands.
Oh,
It's a way to engage without interrupting. Jesus, Moore, you're killing me here.
I thought you had a question.
ha. Now, we did have a bit of a wine of the week before we press record, but I've actually got a different wine of the week put down for this week. The wine of the week I've got for this week is about building up expectations in the Discord server regarding maintenance. Now, DTech owes me 68 UPEX. Do you want to outline what that was all about, Chase?
I don't want to get into negative stuff.
It's not really negative. Like, we saw that Upland was, well, how can I run this through? I got up at, was essentially 3 a.m. yesterday, expecting that Outdoor Decor manufacturing was going to be live and that the Porto collections were released, yada, yada, yada. So I got up at 3 a.m. and found out that we're under maintenance. The reason why is because I forget the exact terminology that they used in the announcement, but it was like something big's on the way or something like that. So, of course, Upland General goes into overdrive with speculation. And, you know, we had been told that manufacturing was going to begin within 24 hours. So I kind of knew what the crux of that update was going to be all about as far as that was concerned. So I could just see that they were just setting themselves up for a whole bunch of butthurt. And I put the bet out to DTech in our little private server area. I said, what's the bet that will come out of maintenance? People will see that this update has predominantly benefited 6 players in the Better Business channel, and then Upland General goes into meltdown because it's unfair, this, that, and the other thing. So, and that's exactly what happened. So DTech, you owe me 68 UPEX, and I will get it.
Devil's advocate. devil's advocate. I did see that message, and it did seem like more tongue in cheek than it was a complaint.
Yeah, but that was one of many. So
Oh, go
They
and base
could-
off that one.
the Upland team could completely remove all of that unnecessary drama because the maintenance period went on for so long. It was, what was it? It was, I don't know when it started, but I woke up at 3 and I turned everything off. Of course, just as I turned everything off, that's when we came out of maintenance. So that's a different wine, with my RNG luck with that sort of things. But yeah, I think it was like 3 hours or something you were under maintenance or more, something like that.
Maybe more.
So that gave the community heaps of time for wild speculation, and they're whipping themselves up into a frenzy with all the gifts and that. That could have been completely avoided if, in the announcement about going into maintenance, they just said, instead of loosely alluding to the fact that this is something big coming, we'll just say what it is. Just say we're doing maintenance to introduce the ability to move your items and outdoor decor. Just say it. Why not say it? I don't get it.
I didn't want there to be a surprise, and also they have to protect themselves, because what if they couldn't? They something happened and they weren't able to produce that. So like, might as well wait, make sure everything goes correctly, and then do it, sort of thing. Because like, what if they were only able to accomplish one of the two things, and then they promised both, and then people were like, "Oh, you said we could do this too. Like, you suck."
You could negate that by just putting a disclaimer in there, as you usually do, subject to change.
People
blah,
don't
blah.
need disclaimers. They don't care about disclaimers.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I just thought all of that unnecessary drama and then the ensuing butthurt that happened could have just been easily avoided by just telling people what was on the way. So that's my wine of the week. Now, the win of the week, of course, Outdoor Decor. Woo! Miniguns.
Woo! Pinky's up.
Yes. And again, like we saw it kick off here, there, and everywhere. Where was the application to apply for Outdoor Decor? It's unfair. This, that, and the other thing. Yeah, you need a time machine, mate. That was 18 months ago. So, what are you doing?
The emojis.
Change your name to Squirrels.
Oh no.
Yes. So yeah, that's definitely the win of the week. I mean, 18 months of feeling like we've been the abandoned child. We've seen, in that time, we've seen the Block Explorer businesses open up and whatnot. So yeah, no, very cool to see all of that kicking off. Now, this is normally the part where we do the UDU nodes around the grounds. As you can imagine, I've just been completely smashed. Any free time I could get was put all into Samurai Aquatics, so I haven't even looked at Midtown Terrace, aside from rejecting shitty offers on Midtown Terrace properties, and I just sent one to Finsky before. Yeah, pretty hilarious. No, I don't want your Nashville 20 UPEX property for Midtown Terrace property with a townhouse built on it.
20 UPEX property.
No thanks, mate. Come on. If you're going to try something like that, at least make it a half decent offer. I don't know. So I've been really slack with the whole UDU team for the last month or so, really. So hopefully now that Outdoor Decor's kind of kicked off and settling down a bit, hopefully we can share a bit more love over to that side of our universe as well. So how about you, Cheese? Anything happening in the Bronx Dale?
I'm getting my Chode Node Row. Chode Node Row. It's like the 4. Let me show you, actually. So, oops. Where did it go? All right, so these little guys right here. Yeah, it only takes a couple of days to get them out. They're nice cheddar cheese. So this one's going to be done actually.
That's nice. And was there any there that the chode wouldn't fit? Like that there were
this is different.
too fat? Yeah, well, that's part of the update as far as moving Outdoor Decor and that.
Oh, cool. So construction will show me, 15 and a half
15
more
hours.
hours. Pretty cool.
So yeah,
What was your question?
I was just asking, like, the whole tongue in cheek why we're calling them chodes is because they're, well, you can Google that yourself, chode. But was there any skinny properties there that the chode node house wouldn't fit on?
Oh, yeah, all the rest.
Yeah,
These
that
are
sucks.
the only 4.
Yes.
They need to like cut this like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, are you still there? Are you still on there?
Still
Can
on
you,
where?
can you share again?
Oh, boop.
Can you go to an example of one of the properties that won't fit the chode house?
All right.
Possible,
let's
please.
see.
Yes, Pod. The official term is micro house, I believe, but for
So this
obvious-
one.
Yeah, can you click on that and do street view? Let's see if there's an actual house there, or if it's an empty lot.
Oh yeah.
Look at the
there's-
size of the bloody thing.
Yeah, these are our multifamily houses. Very
That's-
old multifamily houses.
So how does the tiniest micro house in Upland not fit on a plot of land that's that big? That's what I keep saying, that the entire scaling of Upland is way out of whack. So
Oh, I
and
don't have enough.
maybe we'll hold off that on the Samurai Aquatic stuff later. I'll put a bullet note there because we had some last minute drama about scaling as well.
This
Hey
one.
Ben, well, you guys are while Chi still has this up, it's Uplando.
But
I wanted to, if you could go back to the 3 smaller micro homes, Cheese. I wanted to
Sure.
make a note for everyone who's building right now and watching MV Motors and getting this mechanic ushered in where you're able to park a vehicle on one of the properties that you own. I've seen this now before, and I just want to encourage everyone, because of decor and what's coming out, and Ben, you, more Cheese, you and the rest of the pack know this all too well. A lot of people scoot their property, the structure on the property as far back to the back of it as they can to allow for parking and MV Motors or potentially having decor on that property, multi-asset, these types of things, which are MV Motors, decor, and others that are upcoming, require some of that space. You're not parking the vehicles on the street as it is right now. You have to park them on your property. So I highly encourage, to consider this when building, either in the front or the back, as to how that's going to be able to be best for you, because you may have incredible properties that the house or the structure is just not set on that would allow for an MV Motors or decor. And I know how incredible decor is going to be. So just throwing that in there.
This is my house in Bronxdale. I'm an island to myself. I'm leaving this blank because I want this whole back and side to be filled with decor. And when I eventually get a car, I left the side here for my car.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I've seen this Cheese. I've seen it through a straight up in trying to put one of his on, and I've seen Barrio Latino actually get more than one, up to 3 MV Motors on a property, but slid all the way back. Just so you guys know. And I, as decor,
but at the
Mahis
same. Oh, go ahead.
Ain't Right just posted on Upland Cafe chat also his 3 vehicles next to his properties, and he has a regular sized townhouse with 2 vans and a sports car. I mean, he got 3 damn vehicles. I got 0. Anyway, that's a different bent.
yeah.
Well,
That's
I'm not gonna slide it all the way back because I'd rather have like decor. Like I'd rather put my stuff on the side. To be honest, like I'll put my house all the way to the side before I put it to the back, because then you're taking away from decor.
Yes. However, it's a good point to be made. Just know that in
Curb appeal.
positioning, I just want to throw that out there for positioning.
yeah, absolutely.
And when you guys, let us know, because a lot of things that are being built right now, I want to put some of my aquatic things around. I want there to be cool stuff, and for that to be said, a hot tub in back, but you could have put a hot tub in front. There's no problem with putting a hot tub in your front yard.
Absolutely, for the extroverts, like we covered with the Shack interview. Yeah, and if you have a look at Midtown Terrace, you'll see that there's blocks where I've pushed the properties way to the back. There's blocks where I've pushed it way to the front. Here, there, and everywhere. just if you're somebody who's only capable or willing or wanting to just build one property, that's very much something you're going to have to take into consideration. But if you're building multiple properties, yeah, just try and mix it up a bit. Give yourself as much flexibility as you can. While you're here, Uplando, I believe you have some updates about what's going down with the school node.
Yes. Thanks for giving me the opportunity. So school node is continual. It is not being abandoned whatsoever. One of the things I'm being recorded right now. So, Oakland has lost a tier where it was at one point on the tiered for treasure hunting and things of that nature. It no longer was within that category that it had. So that's one thing. But for what school is going to do and how I'm moving forward with that, there is a project that is in place right now. It will continue. I'm not going to get rid of, nor am I abandoning school. I will revitalize that conversation as to what is going on there, what the benefits and features will be for being in school. It is civic, it is charity, and it is educational. That is what that node is for. That is what it has always been about. It has been that on which, when I first came into the UDU, it wasn't about acquiring and flipping properties at a high magnitude of return, although that is for any player to be able to do. We're not limiting people. There wasn't a build restriction. So there is also the fact that there is a piece of property there that is unacquirable. It is not mintable. It is an interesting piece of that property. So we'll see how that turns out also. But to be said, for anybody that wants to build on or on the property in school, I will definitely help. Just direct message me and we'll get some sparks set over there for you guys to build out. And bear with me and be patient, and we're still proud to be UDU number 3, and we're kicking and rolling. So we're going to continue to do so. That's it. Any questions, direct message me.
Cool. I like that. School's back in business.
School's back. Yes. Summer's over, baby. So yes, that's a good segue into the How Do You UDU for this week's show. So this week we're going to talk about creating an OG UDU node. Now, as you may have caught when I chatted with Loyal Doyle just recently, yes, the terminology for node has evolved considerably since we first came up with it, introduced it to the community, and this, that, and the other thing. We still, however, maintain the, I don't know, what do you want to call it? The OG requirements or the original requirements, where in order for it to be classified as a UDU node, and just to make clear again, the UDU is a collection of node projects all working together under the same umbrella. So it's not like some of the other teams that are out there where it's the one team essentially starting multiple neighborhood development projects all under the same kind of banner almost. As we know with, like Uplander has just said, his school node is very much its own thing. Uplander is free to manage that however he sees fit. Same with Cheese and her node, Aquatics, his node, Screw, Miss Cedar, myself. We all have our own individual projects. So it is very much, what did I say in the Shack interview? The UDU is almost like a mothership or something like that. So yes, if you are somebody who's within the UDU and like starting up one of your own official UDU nodes is something you'd be interested in, that's absolutely a possibility. It's also, we've also seen with Mexican Town, and previously there was several collaborations where existing neighborhood nodes could kind of come in and fall under the UDU umbrella just by getting involved. And that's all plays out just through conversations basically. But if you're in the team and you want to start a UDU node from scratch, and this is something we've started having conversations with one of our most important key OG members, we're kind of discussing how to go about this in future, is we need to kind of rally the team. We see who's interested in getting involved first and foremost. We get an idea of what kind of budget we're looking at, what kind of city you're looking to get involved in, what size. There's a whole bunch of discussions. there. There's a lot of background planning involved to get ready for these things. And then if we're going to go for a spot, like the last time we pushed for a full node was, what was that? Is it Century Heights in LA?
Yeah.
That was an interesting case where Screw had come to us. Well, didn't we tried to do something in Chicago? Wasn't there was a small, what's that small neighborhood within the loop? Print something? There's something in there anyway. But it was a very small neighborhood, but oh yeah, Dak's got his hand up. What's going on, Dak?
Oh, no, I have
Printers
a
Row,
question,
yeah.
but it could wait.
Printers Row, yes, thank you, Jazz, or whoever just said that. Yeah, Printers Row was the one that we were initially going to go for, but when we saw that there was only a very few properties there, we knew that was going to be highly sought after, so we pulled back from that. And then LA, we got the announcement about LA, so Screw said, okay, now's the time. We got our budget together, and we all got together on a Zoom, and it was a case of, okay, everything's turned green, go. But then we saw the prices, and we were like, holy crap, in the target neighborhood. So that's and that threw us back to the drawing board basically. But then Screw pretty much come up on the fly with the other neighborhood, Century Heights, and then of course a Rancho Park, Finsky said it was, yes, which has since been turned into somebody has that as a node?
It's Abdullah's node, and he has Sphinx Rancho Park racetrack on it.
There you go. Yes. Certainly the
Nice.
sticker shock price there is no problem for our friend Abdullah. So yeah, we had bombed Century Heights, minted up as much as we could, and then quietly started gobbling up the floor. And, because to be classified as a UDU node under our regulations, we need to control ideally 61% of the properties there. If we don't get 61%, it can still be classified as a node. It's just we don't classify it as the full neighborhood node. It becomes essentially a mini node, like we saw with what happened in Oakland with the two Diamond neighborhoods. They were at one point in time full neighborhood development nodes, but there was a whole bunch of drama associated with that, and they have dropped to just mini node status. And NFT Architect has asked why 61% and not 51%. If you only control 51% of the neighborhood, there will be people within the team that flip their properties. There will be people within the team who decide they no longer want to be in the team. 61% just gives us a bit of a buffer. So yeah, if you are at the 51%, I believe, I'm not sure off the top of my head what node project is only in the above the 50. There's one of them anyway. We still classified that as a neighborhood node because we know that the 51% that do hold those properties there are solid UDU members. Like within the UDU team, we have a solid group of core, heavily engaged members. And then we also have a group of kind of semi-engaged members. And then we have a big group of, what do we call those, Cheese? The, I'm blank. What's the word? Not OG members. Or is it OG members?
Oh, old guard.
Old guard, yes, thank you. So we have old guard members. They're either members who they're still in the UDU, but they aren't very engaged in the game, or they've already built out all their node properties and that sort of thing. So yeah, so 61% just gives us a bit of bufferage. Ideally, like Cheese's Bronx node, what are you up to? Nearly 88 or something like that, near 90%.
Yeah, I think I'm like just at 90%.
Yeah. Where at one point in time, Midtown Terrace was very high like that, but as part of the push to get people involved, I passed off a swag of Midtown Terrace properties starting off. When Midtown Terrace first started off as its own project, I was selling those for about 25,000 UPEX, and that slowly bumped up as the supply dropped, and the max I went to was 150,000. But then we've seen a whole bunch of those people leave the team, or for whatever reason, they just flip them out from under you. So it's kind of one of those things. With most other node projects that are out there now, as I said, the node terminology has evolved. Anybody can start a node and have 3 properties and call it a node. Most nodes now are more community based, where they don't really care about the numbers. It's just about the engagement, which is fair enough. You know, it's just two different ways to skin a cat, as we say. So yes, if you are in the UDU team and you're looking to start your own UDU node, there is an opportunity there. It just comes down to engagement and asking questions. And Dak said, I do have a question after conversations, presentations, one re UDU node. Go for it, Dak. What do you got for us?
So it might sound like a silly question, but honestly, I am kind of curious. You, a long time ago, mapped out the concept of a node, and you have that famous map of the little circles with all of the nodes and so forth.
Yep.
And you said eventually it's going to evolve and grow as new areas are released. Well, in the past 3 weeks, they've released Latin America and Europe. So what's the story? Can you give us a little inside?
Yes, I think you're referring to probably this one or one of the other ones. So yes, that's not a node, mate. This is a node. So this is the current UDU node map as we have it today. And as you can see, yes, the umbrella is UDU. Our first branch is North America, USA. And yes, we do have now Europe and we do have South America. Absolutely.
The thing is,
Yes.
those areas that they opened were not the full areas. They're opening them up little by little. To create a node in there, you have to be Abdullah. Basically, you need to have a lot of money and a lot of people at your disposal, because it's like what is it? Rio went fast. How fast was Rio minted out? Like, that was crazy. To plan a node in there would have been extreme noding.
Community nodes are possible. UDU nodes is not possible. And the biggest thing that's related to that is we do not pursue a node unless there is a committed node manager. That's beyond budget, beyond anything else. If there's not somebody willing to run that project, we don't try it, because, you know, we've already got enough projects established that, you know, we're very cognizant of the fact of feature creep. If we constantly go chasing, when we've done this in the past, you know, okay, there's a new city, let's push for a node, but, you know, Midtown Terrace is only 60-something% developed. There's still so much work to be done on projects that we started over a year ago. So,
you know what I think Dak is getting at. I think he is going to be signing up to the UDU, and then B, he's going to be a community manager, a node manager, and he's going to run a node in either Rio or Porto.
He's pumping the brakes, Cheese.
As it expands.
No, but here I got a different proposition for you, and he's not even here today to defend himself. So, you know, I'm volunteering someone who can't even defend himself. But the reason I was asking about that is, one, I wanted to know what the plans were for the bigger map and the bigger expansion, and then two, Max Demon, who you guys had on the show a couple of shows back, he was able to secure a good amount of ownership for his racetrack, right? And so do they become mini nodes? Could someone come in if they've built a racetrack somewhere and they want to be part of a bigger organization? Could they apply to be part of UDU if they wanted to? I don't know if they would, but I'm just saying racetracks have been able to build, because we have an ownership requirement with URL. They go out and they really do put together a coalition to buy out their racetrack.
We, of course, you know, we had Max Demon on the show, thanks to you, Dak, and I appreciate that connection there. He's a really awesome, ambitious young guy, doing great things. But even he admitted that he doesn't own all of the properties, like not even all of it, most of the properties there, that he wants to have a greater part of the community there. And I think Ben and I did ask him in the show if he was interested in like getting a good part of the community there, and he said he just wanted to concentrate on his racing. I think it would be amazing if somebody who did have a racetrack that did have the amount of properties needed to, because remember, we do have our goal of that 61%. If they wanted to do that, then definitely, I could definitely see Max in the UDU. He like once he passes vetting and whatnot. Remember, we all have our, structure and our levels. But yeah, I think it is apples and oranges to the node and the racing, but they can definitely come together to make a delicious smoothie if the numbers are there.
Yeah. And that opportunity is available. Like we've seen that recently with Mexican Town. They kind of
Yes.
come on board as an associative node project under the UDU umbrella. So it is possible, but keep in mind we're very, very wary of pursuing that too much, because we've been there and done that. Like at one point in time, TM had all of his node projects within the UDU umbrella. Who else? Mars Utah and Left House and a whole bunch of people that many of the node projects that you are aware of, especially some of the OG ones, Little Italy, all of that crew. At one point in time, they were in with us under the UDU, but for reasons that fall on our side and their side, it just didn't pan out for whatever, and that kind of just creates a whole bunch of unnecessary drama. So it's something that we're definitely open to, but they're at its core, any project that is going to come on, it must have independent, structured, and stable management. There has to be leadership there, because we get, believe it or not, we get offered these sort of things all the time. It becomes a case of, hi Ben 68, I've started this node project. I don't really know what to do with it. Here you go. Yeah, that's not how it's going to work. I've got so much going on. I can't be running other people's things that they've started. That's if you want advice or that sort of thing, absolutely. Cheese and I are fully open to that. And we've been through so much history and drama. Many like Finsky. There's a whole bunch of people that you could reach out to and get advice. But as far as taking on new projects, we're walking around with our hands overflowing. We're spinning plates left, right, and center. We're actually trying to put down some plates, and
it's a lot of work. You have to get FSAs in there. You have to have at least a couple $1,000 to make it happen, and then you need to kind of rally people to it. I know I was a wreck after the first 3 months of Bronxdale, and like it didn't start coming together until 3 months after. And if it was just left for the UDU in total to take care of, like people have their own stuff, things get forgotten very easily. So there definitely needs to be a manager.
As we keep saying over and over again, in any platform that Cheese and I have available to us, we keep saying these things are very easy to start. It takes a lot of, I won't say most, many people have the financial side covered. It's the time aspect that you cannot even begin to imagine how much time it takes to run these things, deal with the drama, all that sort of stuff. So and Podex has said in chat, even the San Francisco nodes will take years to complete. Yeah, absolutely. From day one, we've preached a long-term mindset, and that's no joke. We're not talking a couple of months here or a year there. We're talking multiple years. And for big projects like Midtown Terrace and that, maybe we don't even see how that's going to be fully fleshed out for 5 years. Who knows? So it's not something that we take lightly, and neither should anybody else, really. I mean, I guess that's a good point to wrap that part up on. Now, the code word or the code phrase for this week's 1 million UpX wheels is outdoor decor.
Woohoo!
Outdoor decor. That's the code phrase. All right, how are we going for time? All right, we'll crank on. How to Upland for this week. We're going to touch on some of the requirements and mechanics of setting up a Metaventure. Because, with Outdoor Decor kicking off, there's been a lot of questions. How come I couldn't apply for Decor, or how do I apply for Decor? Like, I'm sure you can imagine when they put out the post announcing Outdoor Decor yesterday, and there was a list of the shop owners and this, that, and the other things. Like my DMs just went ridiculous on both Twitter and on Discord. You know, it's a frustrating position for me to be in. Like, I don't know if I can rent your factory. I don't know if I can use your factory. I don't know if I can use your spark. This, that, and the other thing. It's still all kind of playing out. But yeah, if you have questions about how to apply that, I'll always try and help out when we can. I don't know. What do you think the biggest takeaway is from that, Cheese? Like, if you are somebody who wants to start a Metaventure, where do you even begin?
You got to figure out what you're going to call it. And once you figure that out, you have to get a website for it, get a domain, create a Discord, get a Twitter name, get a Facebook name, get whatever you can for that, Instagram. Then what you want to do is you want to start planning. Like, the beautiful thing about planning is, if it doesn't happen, you have other stuff there that you could fall back on. Let's say, for example, you couldn't wait for manufacturing, right? Let's say it doesn't happen because you have places like the UCC, you have places like this and that, but at the same time, all right, that doesn't work out. You have a huge, nice, big plot of land with a factory on it. You could then lease that to somebody who comes in later to Outdoor Decor that doesn't have property, that doesn't have that nice, juicy, big plot of land to put a factory on. You can make your money like that, you know? Or if you have a semi truck, you know, maybe you go into the moving prospect, transportation prospect. So it doesn't matter if your plan doesn't go 100%, you can always evolve, you know, you adapt. You don't have to scrap anything. Sometimes when bad things happen, better things come out of it, sort of thing. Never get aggravated that, you know, it's not happening perfectly. Usually the stuff that doesn't happen perfectly is better for you, you know, in the long run. So just, yeah.
Yeah, I can speak to my process, which is, it's a little bit different, because obviously when I first heard about Metaventures, it wasn't even called Metaventures, it was called Better Business, or I forget what it was. Yeah, it definitely wasn't called Metaventures. So we got a Medium post saying, you know, businesses are coming to Upland, this, that, and the other thing. So I did exactly what Jesus said there. I formed an idea of what I wanted. You know, I thought about, what do I actually want to do here? I decided, because there was two options at that point. There was Block Explorer Shops or Outdoor Decor. I decided I want to do Outdoor Decor. Came up with the name pretty much. And I always used to do that, even in my university assignment days. If you get an assignment, if I could get the title of the paper I had to write, if I could nail that down, it kind of set the direction for everything that followed. So I had the name of the business. I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. And one of the first things I did was reach out to T. Davis, who I was in heavy communications with at the time, and just kind of ran the idea by him. He thought it was a good idea. We spitballed a few different ideas backwards and forwards. And then from that, I kind of started formulating not really a business plan. I know some people in that early days submitted like 7-point business plans. I basically just put a Word document together with some bullet points of what I wanted to do and how I was going to go about doing it. And again, we had no idea about specs or requirements or nothing. It was literally just kind of pissing in the wind. But yeah, the most important thing is I had a general idea of what I wanted to do. And then as Upland gave us more information, then of course your plans adapt and change. So yeah, from there, fast forward over a year's worth of waiting, and we finally get some more information. Then yeah, started setting up, you know, getting other people involved. Obviously Cheese come in early to help with planning and this, that, and the other thing. We started, we went through a couple of different artists before we settled on D-Tech, and just lots and lots and lots and lots of planning. You cannot even begin to fathom the hundreds, possibly at this point in time, thousands of hours that Cheese, D-Tech, and myself have put into planning for all this. Yeah, so do as much as you can with the information that you have available, is what I'd say. And, you know, it's people now are, they're in a better position than we were back in those days because there is so much information out there. There's, you know, there's Uplander and now a whole bunch of people that have been through the Block Explorer shops. We've got Legits and now, of course, Outdoor Decor. There was originally 10 outdoor decor businesses, but was there only 6 in that list? I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 4 in San Fran and 2 in Fresno.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to ask questions, you can reach out to those people or that sort of thing and ask your questions. But yeah.
And we have our meetings recorded. Like we have schema, production, like all of that stuff, like what we actually went through to create our business. So it, like, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of joking around in there. You could probably listen to it at 2 times speed, but
well,
it's informative.
That's one of the most important points is if you're going to reach out and start a project, especially something like outdoor decor, I don't think, even if you're a mad 3D artist, I don't think that's something that you could set up and run by yourself. Maybe you can, maybe you're a whiz at spinning plates and you could do it, but I personally can't imagine even attempting to do that. That's why as soon as I was able to, like, Cheese, D-Tech and myself, we're equal third partners in the business because, you know, we all come into it with different skills and different opportunities, and all of that's valuable. So yeah, if you do have I don't know what the word is, friendship or kind of structure in place, yeah, leverage that if you can. Reach out. Undoubtedly, there's people willing to get involved, and you kind of have to put yourself out there a bit. Like, you know, like I said, we went through a couple of artists before we settled on D-Tech, and yeah, have fun. That's, I mean, if you're working with people that you can't have fun with, I don't know how that's going to play out long term. Maybe if you got a full-on business mindset, that's could be beneficial. But yeah, half the time I got to knock Cheese and D-Tech on the head, and it's like, hey, we're here. We've got a limited amount of time. Let's focus. We got shit to do. So,
I need guidance.
Yeah. Yeah, but those meetings that'd be a good way to just give you the general catch up on some of the stuff that we've been thinking about or trying to plan for. And actually, later today we have to get together and start discussing pricing, which is something that's just been driving us crazy.
Yes,
it's really hard. So that's something else to watch. Now, we did have a couple of questions pop off in chat, so I'll try and go through those. Where are we? Do I need a structure to place decor? No, I don't believe so. I believe you should be able to place decor wherever you want. Sorry, I want to create my Facadac designer mallard shop DAC. Nice. I'll buy some Facadacs. The famous show in Australia that used to pluck a duck. Yeah. Depending on how old NFT Architect is, he'll know all about that. Pluck a duck, pluck a duck. It's not a chicken or a cat. Something like that. Any idea when they will start the beta for blueprint Metaventures for structures? No idea whatsoever. I'll put a pin in that actually and discuss that on the back end when we talk about the spotlight for outdoor decor. I'll just write that down. Blueprints ? Aquatics has said soonish. Yeah, everything's always soonish. Dax chomping at the bit to get blueprints for cars. Umbrella Boy, possibly awkward question. Do you recommend forming partnerships for Metaventures? What do you mean there, Umbrella? Do you mean partnerships between players or partnerships between different Metaventure shops? Dak has said I've formed partnerships for outdoor decors. Partnerships, I mean, that's entirely what the UDU is built on. It's all partnership based, from the foundation to the core. Like, yeah, I mean, can you play Upland as a lone wolf? Sure. It's interesting to see. I did read, I won't put them on blast, but I did read something recently in Upland General Chat about how a famous lone wolf player was thinking, I may have kind of missed an opportunity here by not reaching out earlier to form these sort of partnerships. So yeah, I'd say at any opportunity that you can, reach out and form partnerships, but keep in mind that partnerships come with drama. So yeah, and Umbrella said I was thinking more shops, shop to shops.
Didn't I have that idea before to form a Discord that had like shop owner community,
Yes,
like so that we could discuss things? But I got ghosted by a shop owner last night, so
yeah, it's especially with Outdoor Decor because it's such a small group and there is a lot of history, shall we say, between some of the members. I did get approached in DMs about starting a Discord for those better business people, but the angle they
who
were
sent
pushing
you
for,
that?
well, I'm not going to put them on blast because the angle for that was, it was not a proactive angle. It was more a pitchforks angle. And I was like, that is not something I have any interest in.
Oh, that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the same thing.
But it was the idea of all of the shop owners getting together and basically to put pressure on Upland, which was
Yeah, it was another
that's not
committee. It was another committee.
Yeah, that's
Like
that's not-
my idea was more like umbrella, like shops coming together and kind of like trying not to step on each other's toes.
Yeah.
And like just kind of helping each other out, sort of thing, so that it's friendly rather than like cutthroat. I would definitely still like something like that, and I would personally spin another plate myself and put that together if others wanted to do it. But like I said, you know, I try to reach out to some people, owners, and they like to talk about their stuff, but when you kind of invite them to your stuff, you don't get a response back. So I could only do so much.
Cheese and I are going at 1,000 miles an hour. You know, we're super engaged in the game, in doing all these shows, everything like that. I mean, it's been a situation before where we've reached out to people to be on the Wine and Cheese show or to do different things like this with, you know, partnerships and this, that, and the other thing. If you don't answer within a week, we've moved on. You know, part of it's we have short attention span, short focus. If this opportunity is there and you're not engaged, well, that's a massive red flag to us, you know, as well. So, yeah, no, Cheese, if that's something you want to pursue, absolutely. But
well, I know I did, but then I kind of got a dose of reality last night.
yeah, that's the problem, and we get it. You know, people are busy; they have real in life things. You know, not everybody's as fanatical as we are about these things. So it's all well and good. What did I say? You do you, we do us, but sometimes we do you. Yes. What's NFT has said he's been designing for Blueprints since he joined. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a good point too. Like if this is something you want to do, and Cheese and I bang on about this all the time, don't wait for official announcements and that sort of stuff. Yeah, do as much as you can. So if Upland turns around tomorrow and says, okay, Blueprint shops or whatever, Blueprint manufacturing is open for applications, well, clearly NFT Architect is pretty much ready to go. He's not scrambling like, oh shit, I better actually start doing something. So yeah, for sure, that's very beneficial. Business plan is pictures and bad notes. But that's exactly what mine was. I Google imaged, searched a bunch of pictures that I wanted and put notes together. So yeah. Like I said, some people went crazy with like 7-point business plans. I certainly didn't. And that's not what I submitted either. I submitted a very rough outline of what I wanted. So,
hey, Ben, can we talk about, I think Upland is missing out on the whole manufacturing cycle with the 4 phases of it and splitting that versus forcing a player to be all of it.
Yeah, you can dive into that. Go for it. Well, what's your take on that?
Well, one of the things we've always said is if you think of manufacturing and assembly, there's the resources, the raw resources, there's the manufacturing, there's the distribution, and then there's the retail.
Yep.
Right. And right now, what I've seen you go through is trying to figure out, collect all the resources so you have a nice spark pool. You've been doing all of the design and assembly and everything, right? And your capacity has been hamstrung with this 2 spark maximum.
Yes.
Then you still have to figure out how to get everything to where you want to have the showroom. You have to split the showroom from where you wanted it to be and so forth. So now you're responsible for getting that done. And then you're the one that has to go out and sell all of this, and it's just you. There isn't any real true distribution or leverage economies that you can actually take advantage of to drive sales. And I think that Upland, considering that Dirk talks about his doctorate in economics and everything, maybe it's a technology issue, maybe it's a bandwidth issue. I don't know why they haven't been able to really kind of look at it or speak to the fact that that they could split these elements so that different organizations like UCC wants to be a raw resources group, right? We want to be able to produce, to provide a lot of resources for production. NFT, I think, had a really good, he just wants to design. He doesn't want to run the shop or deal with advertising.
Yep.
Right. And then there's other people who want to have their own little businesses, but not necessarily go through all of the big stuff, right? So being a retail store owner would be awesome. And then you could have a coalition like the NFIB, the National Federation of Independent Businesses in the United States. Well, actually, I think they're international, right? But you can have one that's metaverse based or something like that. And it's just, I think that, I don't know if they have it in their plans. I haven't really seen a lot, but everything that they've been doing, they've been really kind of focused on an individual doing something versus looking at it more from a workflow, assembly flow type model.
I think they're banking on people to kind of figure that out themselves. Like, for example, Ben tapped me on his shoulder to be kind of like artist / marketing / idea person, and then tap D-Tech to be the artist, like the blender artist. And then, he's the one, like, we both have our networks. He's the organized one. He's the one that puts all of this together. So I think what you're saying is correct and good, but I think Upland is leaving it up to the players to kind of figure it out. Like NFT, he's an artist, he's a designer, he needs to hook up with somebody who is in the Metaventure place, who wants to be a marketing person, who's good at that. But I just jumped in and answered Ben's question, and I'm so sorry.
No,
Ben,
that's
go
perfect.
ahead.
No,
Well,
you're exactly right. Yep.
And I didn't want to interrupt or anything because I think you had some really good points, as usual. I think that the issue here is not that as a business owner, Ben can't go out and outsource some of the work that he has to do. But the key is, this is his Metaventure. It's his responsibility to go out and get everything done. And he is limited in the functionality of how he can manufacture, how he can deliver, and how he can sell. If you are not able to actually distribute and allow others to sell, then selling for yourself can, especially at the volumes that you guys want to sell at, it's going to take time and it's going to be difficult. If you were actually able to be a wholesaler and sell to retail shops that are buying 3, 4, 5, 10 ornaments at a time, then your sales process would actually be a little better, and it actually creates a much bigger economic engine in the game for wholesalers, distributors, and retailers.
Yeah, and D-Tech said in chat that hello D-Tech, good, thanks for joining us. He said that some people have up to 15 people in their team. It's like a small company. Yeah, I think this is a situation where one thing that's like, I'm sure you can't even begin to imagine the frustrations and drama that's ensued over the last 18 months of waiting for this or planning for this, and like the last minute changes, we get told one thing, but it turns out to be the other thing, or this, that, and the other. Many times I've had to take a step back and just reflect on that. This is a very much an evolving process. Like a lot of the stuff that Upland's setting out to do has never been done before. So I do think that Upland is just trying to provide the very basic tools for us to pick up and run with. Yeah. 15 people in your team, my gosh, I can't imagine.
That's
Even
and
tempting to try and
too much.
do that.
Yeah.
And I do know some of the metaverses that they're kind of doing it that way, where they have a team behind them and everything. It's going to be interesting to see how the roadmap evolves for Metaventures and the whole idea of manufacturing in Upland.
Yeah. I guess that's all still yet to play out. It's definitely we're kind of at a tricky point. Like that news that 2 Spark is the maximum stakeable in the small factory just threw us for a 6. Like I've been having conversations with Dak and Mass as far as, you know, setting up to essentially rent hundreds upon hundreds of Spark so that we could get out all these products that we want to produce. But that's all now, as of yesterday, that plan's completely chucked in the bin. So, you know, and yeah, NFTs architecture says, what's the point of having so much Spark? Well, yes, that is a very good question.
Remember what I said in the beginning of the show?
Yep.
I feel like this is their way of kind of trying to make it fair for those who don't have that much Spark,
Yep.
who are Metaventure, but it's kind of also at the same time throwing those who invest in, like, well, not, I should have used the word invest, those who put money into their game under the bus, because, like, you know, they want to sell their Spark, and, like, you know, you're here accumulating it. Where's your cutback for that? But we'll see. We'll
All right,
see.
Dak's off. Daktastic is off. Thanks for joining us, Dak, and getting involved. Just one last
Thanks,
thing
Dak.
before we're going to move on. Option Guru has asked in chat, will you be able to switch production when your medium factory is complete? No idea. I'm building a medium factory at the moment. I think there's 18 days left on that. At this point, no idea. As I said, it was quite a precarious task just to switch from 2 different small factories. I don't know if we are going to be able to switch. I don't know that we're going to be able to run additional factories. There's just so many unknowns at this point. So
Yeah,
as I always say, we're
said.
we're just trying to do what we can do to allow for all of the different eventualities that might present themselves. All right, we're going to move on to the Metaverse Spotlight, which is pretty much just going to follow on from that. Is Outdoor Decor Manufacturing is live now. Yeah. Cheese, maybe you just want to, just for this segment that I'm going to cut up, maybe you can just give a quick wrap up of that whole angle that Coop has just agreed to.
What he just said right now?
Yeah, so, you know, like the pushing it out
like,
for other people.
Yeah, I think, like, when they open it up, he said when they open it up to more people that the max will rise as well.
I'm not sure.
But if it does, then
yeah, because
we know.
Obviously, I asked, as I was having conversations with UCC in the background, I was asking the team, is third-party staking going to be a thing? I got a definitive answer that no, third-party staking is not going to happen at release and not anytime soon, which I thought was strange at the time, but at that time we were not aware that 2 Spark was the maximum stakeable on the small factory. You know, Cheese, DTech and I have made all these plans we have a very long-term mindset. This first outdoor decor set that we're releasing, the 10-piece outdoor decor set, we are expecting that this was going to take, you know, a year or more to sell out. So that's why we pushed our mint numbers so high, 20,000 mints each for each item, because it's a common rarity. So, and what have we seen? I started the production of 4 items last night that we're going to take essentially 5 days to complete. The math on that is just mind-boggling. If we go at full capacity, assuming that we are allowed to manufacture for a full month before the sales rooms open and before we can selling, we might have, how many items are we going to have for sale, Cheese? Maybe 30, 40. Maybe it's you know, our whole business structure, everything we've been planning for all the way up until yesterday was we were going to have thousands upon thousands of items for sale. and now we're talking about a couple of dozen.
Yeah.
Where do you go from that? It's going to force us to completely reevaluate pricing. Like Cheese D-Tech and I have been, we've been on the full roller coaster with pricing. We've been like, no, we want to have our awesome stuff out in as many hands as possible. So let's get the prices dirt cheap and get it out there. So let's have them super low so that even beginner level people to the game can get involved. They can buy our full set. They can get the stuff out there, because obviously, there's exposure benefits of that and this, that, and the other thing. Then we started to price in the cost of renting Spark to produce these items, and that changes the picture completely. Okay, so now there's a cost associated with that. There is a cost associated with the sales fees. There's 5% fee. There's also a cost associated because the business account is in my name, everything runs through my account. Now we have to track that carefully as far as sales and costs is concerned. When it comes the end of the month and I've got to send Cheese and D-Tech their cut of the business, there's a 5% fee associated with that on both ends. So there's costs involved there. And there's also the Metaventure's costs. So then, okay, you start thinking, well, those rock bottom prices that we were going to put out there, that's going to see us put all this time and effort in for no net benefit. In some cases, depending on the Spark price, we might have actually ended up in the red, which would just be a hilarious situation. So then
True. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, we swung the other way with pricing, and we started having conversations in the background with people, what would you be willing to pay for these sort of items, and showing them sneak peeks and that and the other thing. And then they went to the other extreme. They were saying, oh, that's awesome. I'd pay this much. And we were like scratching our head, holy crap. So we kind of settled somewhere in the medium, and then Upland sent us the Spark hour costs associated with the items, and that threw us all in a tizzy again. So we had to start from scratch again. So we rejigged all those numbers. I think the last meeting that we published, just after that, we stopped recording, and then we kind of nutted out some numbers, and we got to a place where, okay, this is the path forward. We can do that. That's really good. And then we found out that the 2 Sparks the maximum. So that just throws everything out of whack. Can I access these background Metaventure talks you mentioned? Yes, all of the ones that we have recorded are available on the Metaverse Ventures Entertainment YouTube channel. Yep, there's a playlist there. I think at this stage it'll be maybe a dozen hours or more that you could scroll through. But yeah, please don't try and watch that at 1x speed. Push it to 2x. Yeah. So yeah, and Cheese, you've just said in chat there, transportation is another cost that has to be factored in. Obviously, that's not happening now, but that's another cost. There's many different costs. Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Do we know the Spark maximum on the medium-sized factories?
No, we haven't been given any information about that at all yet. There's been suggestions put out there of, maybe the small is 2, maybe the medium is 6, and maybe the bigger one's 12. We just got no idea at this point, unfortunately, which also makes it hard to plan. And GFG has said, wonder if the item will say X of 20,000. Yeah, we don't know. One of the things that was really difficult for our planning was when we were submitting items to be approved, we had to tell Upland the maximum mint numbers that we wanted. So, we've said 20,000 mints, but we just got no idea what the market's capable of. And especially this is before all the Spark restrictions. So we weren't sure if we put 20,000 items out there, we weren't sure if it was going to sell out in a month. We weren't sure if it was going to sell out in years. You just shooting blind, basically. So we put a high number out there, and then we figured it was better to have a high number of mints, and then we can adjust downwards, because there is you do not have to commit to producing all 20,000. Like if the sales tail drops off just to flat lines to nothing, well, we can just say, okay, we'll call it a day and we'll move on to other things. And so because we don't know.
We wanted to have something that everybody can put in their backyards, and in regards to building up your property like beauty or whatever towards the collection, if that's even a thing. I know Lizette talked on it a little bit last night, how outdoor decor can do that. So we have that element, plus we also have the collectors. We have like mythic, legendary, all these different kinds of collections that you can get other than the common and uncommon. Plus we'll also have like holiday and different like types of stuff to fit each of the nodes, like, you know, sci-fi or horror, stuff like that. So we had to, like Ben said, to his point, we had to figure all of this out and create like schemas for all of this and decide how many we wanted to put in. And this is all in our videos.
Yeah.
So.
And that had to be decided, like for the, just take the which everyone would have seen by now, is the bench seat with the red trim. Well, we had to tell Upland every single possible iteration of that design that we wanted. So, you know, instead of a red trim, it was a blue trim, it was a yellow trim. We had to tell him all of the specifics because as far as we were led to believe, we couldn't get, you know, down the road and say, okay, Upland, now we want to produce that same seat but in a black trim. They were going to say, well, hang on a minute, you didn't tell us about that, so no, you can't do it. So yeah, we had to do a whole bunch of planning on very little information. So there was another question in there somewhere. Where is it? Oh, about the mint numbers. There's something else there too. Yeah, we got no idea how mint numbers are going to work. We don't know. Like those first two items I'm producing now, is that mint number 1 and mint number 2? Well, you would assume so. We got no idea about how the selling is going to go. Like we see with the MV motors that the first few mints were crazy expensive because they were mint number 1 and mint number 2. But we've got no idea if those mechanics are going to be available to us, or if we just have to put a base price and it's a random thing. Like if you happen to buy it first, we just don't know. And because now our supply is going to be extremely limited compared to what we were planning for, it's a strange one. Like we were expecting to be able to open the showroom and, like I said, have thousands of items for sale, but now you're talking about maybe a couple of dozen. So one of the things I did have questions. Oh, hang on. Option Guru said you mentioned different textures or materials having different spark requirements. Any more details on that? Yes. Okay. So we submitted a whole bunch of items. You know, think of the sauna, which is actually quite a big decor piece, but then we had the statue or something like that. There was smaller decor pieces. So we got the spark hour requirements back from Upland, and I was trying to crunch the numbers this way and the other thing with the up squared size. And when you submit your Blender files, you have to tell them the width, the length, the height of the models. So I was trying to crunch all those numbers to try and make sense of the spark hours requirements, but hang on, let me get the feedback. Where's that? But yeah, none of that was making sense to me. So I asked about it, and it turns out that, yeah, the materials that are visual in your models is a massive factor in determining the spark price. So if you were to make a statue of, I don't know, a statue of cheese, you make your cheese statue, right? If you say, and it looks like your cheese statue is made out of paper or it's made out of wood, that's going to have a completely different spark hours price compared to if it's made out of concrete or stone or titanium or something like that. So that was a bit of a tricky one to get our mind around, which is, it's kind of weird. So we've got the two things we're manufacturing at the moment is just the sitting with the table and the sitting with the fire pit. I believe, Cheese, maybe you can help me. The spark hours requirement is almost double for those. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's essentially the same thing with a tweak. But
the fire pit was made out of stone.
Yeah.
So.
And that changes things as far as pricing goes as well. So we had all those conversations because originally we've got a 10-piece set, right? And we were going to make every single piece the same price to give people the, the opportunity to buy the full set or the kind of, we want to inspire that collection kind of vibe, but then it just doesn't make sense to price it like that. If your spark error requirements on one item is double something of, you know, within the same set, you just can't price it like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Does that mean we will be able to make precious metals or items like jewelry? Not sure. We did know that as part of some of the models that we submitted, we weren't allowed to have anything shiny.
Or see-through?
Yeah, transparent. There was no transparency, no shiny. Originally, we couldn't use water, which kind of threw our business completely for a 6 because Samurai Aquatics, that was going to be our whole theme. But eventually, you know, we pushed the limits there and they gave us a water texture. But then we weren't allowed to have what looked like flowing water. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of information that we don't have. I hope this changes for structure blueprints. Yes, back to my bullet point that I wrote down. Thank you, NFT, for blueprints. Ever since word got out in the kind of new players that myself, and I assume this happened with the other Outdoor Decor participants as well, that we have a decor shop open, people have been reaching out, say, hey, Ben68, I've got a small factory. Do you want to use this to build your decor? And we've been saying, oh, you know, thank you for the offer, but we'll be doing that all in-house as far as we're aware. And if there are opportunities like that available, you know, we are the UDU team. Those opportunities will, of course, be offered to UDU team members first. Okay. This 2 spark restriction throws a lot of that for 6. Because again, we were assuming we were going to be able to handle the bulk of production ourselves. I suspect, I have no idea whatsoever, it's pure speculation. I suspect that the reason the spark restriction is so restrictive in the small factory is to kind of force us into a situation where we have to employ other production facilities. So
in a way that like that's good for manufacturing, but it's bad for customers who buy our NFTs because
yes,
we wanted to make them extremely affordable,
yes,
especially the ones that you could put like the commons and uncommons. The thing is, if we have to employ other people and give them a certain amount of the stuff, that means that these items are going to go up substantially to
Yep.
be able to afford that. So it's kind of a bittersweet sort of thing. Like, it's no skin off our back because we could just up the price, but at the same time, it's like in order for some people to win, others have to lose.
Yeah.
So if we do hire people to manufacture, the customers are going to lose.
Yeah,
You can't,
it's a
there's
tricky
never going to
balance.
be everyone's happy sort of thing. It is a business. It is, you know, in order for us to make money, that's like, if we do most of the stuff ourselves, that's the way like there are better prices for you guys, but the more we hire out, it's going to be more expensive.
Yeah.
No, not designs, manufacturing, Brown Height. Like,
Yeah.
so if, like, let's say we need designs, we have me and D-Tech.
Yeah. Once they're
We're
approved,
not gonna, we're not gonna do anybody else on that unless it's a special order sort of thing. But once they're approved and we need to help manufacturing, if we need to pay someone else to manufacture our stuff, that's gonna up the price
yeah,
of NFTs.
yeah, and like you said, it's not something that we had factored into our pricing at all, because we had assumed that we were going to be manufacturing this all ourselves. So, yeah, unfortunately, that just has to be priced in. And yeah, be aware, we got no idea about pricing. We might put this first set out there, and the price, we don't know. Maybe they'll, as soon as they roll off the production line, maybe they'll get gobbled up as fast as we can produce them, or maybe they'll just sit there. We really got no idea. So
I think they'll be gobbled up.
pricing is really tough. One thing that we can put out there is we're not well, I have to be careful what I say. I don't remember, and I'm not sure that we are going to be able to list for UpX and US dollars. However, what I can say is that for the Samurai Aquatics Decor shop, unless we are forced to, we will not be listing anything for US dollars, because
Yeah.
if you've been listening to any of my shows, I'm just a mad freak for avoiding tax drama. So if we were to sell items for US dollars and then I build up a US dollars account in my balance and then I'm obligated to send that cut to cheese and detect, that just opens up a can of worms as far as crypto NFT taxes. So yes. Ben's scared of tax. Well, if you know my backstory, I have very, very good reason to be. So, yes. Yeah, I'm just super cautious. So we will only be listing for UpX if allowed. But yeah, what I expect, again, pure speculation, is this kind of, we are in the better period, like we are the better business participants, right? So I expect that for a period of time, we will be manufacturing dribs and drabs in our little factory. Hopefully at some stage we're allowed to extend our business to other factories that we own. Again, we've got no idea. Can Samurai Aquatics operate in more than one factory? No idea. Yeah, no idea whatsoever about that. So I would assume that will run for a period. Once those kind of bugs are all ironed out, then I'm guessing that we will be provided with blueprints for our approved items or some kind of mechanic like that. And there will be some mechanism where we can nominate other factories to manufacture our items. Again, don't really know. So NFT Architect said demand will be too high for supply if you can't make them quick enough. Well, from the get-go, we know that we can't make them quick enough. So it's kind of really, really crazy.
I mean, that's good for us. Demand higher.
But
you got to understand, it's a business too. It's a business as well.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
It goes back to your point too that you've been raising too, Cheese, where we want to buy these products ourselves. We're a node development team. You know, we want to decorate our own nodes with our own products. But if we can only produce, a dozen a week, or it's not even that. If we can only produce like 6, 7, 8 items a week, then we are probably not even going to be able to buy our own stuff. It's gonna, we were gearing up to manufacture and supply the community, as I said, with thousands of items. And that includes decorating our own nodes and own projects and that sort of stuff. At this point in time, look, it might sound whiny. It might sound like we're negative on the whole thing, but it's not the case. We are super, super thankful for the opportunity. Yes, there's been struggles. Yes, there's been frustrations, but, we've had a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, and we just have to adapt. We have to just learn how to kind of find a way to produce more without bringing up the bottom line for everybody. Because sure, we want to make money, but at the same time, we don't want to keep out the little guys, the new guys coming in who just started something and want to that's why we have the uncommons. That's why we wanted to make something for everybody, sort of thing.
Yeah, but just keep in mind that
thank you, NFT.
So evolving. And NFT said it sounds like a handmade product speed. Well, it's absolutely what it is. So, and it's like I said, well, perhaps it was what we signed up for, but it's certainly not what we thought we were signing up for. So, but we will adapt and evolve and move on from there. So just to wrap that up, I'll say if you are in the UDU and you do have a factory, maybe hold on to that for a while, because we don't know how that's going to play out.
Yeah, but not a small one.
Well, we don't know. We haven't even been told that. We haven't been told that medium factories, what they're for or how they're going to be used. Maybe medium factories is not for outdoor decor. We just got no idea.
No, I think you're wrong, because remember, you almost made one, but you couldn't because it was too late and they were going to allow you to.
That's right. Yeah. Well, I'm still making one, and if we are able to switch to the medium factory, I will do that as soon as that becomes available, because we want to produce as much in-house as we can. It's one of those things like, funny. I said we're going to wrap up, and then I've had another.
I know but we're losing people. We need to do this prizes.
Yes. All right. Well, I'll finish up on this point. Yeah, and I don't even remember what I was going to say, so we'll leave it at that. All right. So yeah, it's still an evolving process. So yeah, keep an eye on this show, get involved with this show, keep in touch with, like I said, dive into the Samurai Aquatics Discord. That's where we'll outline all of that sort of stuff. And yes, we are running very long for time today, so apologies if you.
And real quick, no, that wouldn't have changed my mind. And nor Ben's. I feel like I could speak for him of opening a shop. I think, like I said, nothing's gonna go the way you thought it would go. You just have to stay with it and adapt. That's it.
And we are super engaged freaks. We're always looking for more opportunities to get further engaged. So yeah, like I said, we definitely appreciate the opportunity. All right, moving on. Challenge of the week last week was to drop a comment in the contest channel in the MB server or on the YouTube and let us know how you went in Porto, or if applicable, why you skipped it. And the prize was you're going to go on the wheel in this week's show for a chance at winning a Porto property, Rua Crabbinus number 92. Now, it's one of those impressively slack situations again. I believe there is only 4 names on the wheel. So let's see.
Didn't I do it?
Nah, you and D-Tech aren't in, surely, are you?
I thought we did it.
Yeah, you did. But do you qualify? All right, I'll put you in there. but if you win, you're going to have to explain. All right, there we go. Let's see who's going to win. Porto property. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look,
First time joiner.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you won.
NFT architect. Hit me up at DM and I will sort you out with a 68 UpX offer to get that to you. Congratulations. Now, we did have an extra bonus one this week, which was an extra thing that we did in the Samurai Aquatics server. So that was an extra challenge where you had to, let me see if I can bring that up. Here it is here. Over in the Samurai Aquatics server, you had to answer, what is this? And if you're listening on the Spotify, I can just tell you it's a zoomed in image of the dragon on the monument that we've put together, and it's zoomed in upside down, and it's Sharpie teeth, that sort of stuff. So it was going to be wrong answers only. The best answer, as decided by More Cheese, D-Tech, and myself, was going to win 10,000 UpX, but guess what? Totally forgot to have those conversations. So what I did this morning was just go through and get all of the names for the people who submitted something.
You could leave D-Tech and I out of this one.
I think I might have done already. And I chucked,
all right, good.
I chucked all those names on another wheel. So we've got a new Samurai Aquatics wheel. So let's see who's going to win that 10,000 UpX.
Good, because I hate choosing. They were all great.
Oh, I think it might be NFT Architect again, or has Joe got it? Joe's just got it. Good job.
Joe's just got it. Wow, Joe.
10,000 UpX on the way for you, my friend.
I was going to say, NFT, if he got all 3, he would have had a hat trick.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just pressed the end meeting. So that was cool. Let me back out of there. That was the wrong pop-up.
Oh no.
What are we up to now? All right. So let's go and see who's going to play for the 1 million UpX wheels. Cheese, have you got them up on your end?
I got them up. I'm all
You're
prepared.
more organized than me today. Now, Jazzy Jazz did send these through to me. I believe a few people dropped out because we have run long. So we'll see how we go. Oh, and it is Dak, and he's jumped out. Sorry, Dak.
Getting that
right.
beautiful bean footage again.
I'll remove that and we'll roll again. Oh, look at that. A new, or is it flipped over to dog? Brown Hype.
Brown Hype. Wow. First viewer.
First time
viewer.
Joiner. Brown
yeah,
Hype.
Look at
He's trudging around in the bush, in the jungle. Do you remember what the code phrase was, Brown Hype? What was the code phrase you needed to know?
It's Outdoor Decor.
Oh, look at that. You didn't even have to give him the answer, Cheese.
I know, I was about to too.
Well done. That might be a first time ever, I think.
I think so.
All right, bring
Yeah,
the wheels
yeah,
up.
yeah.
Let's see if we can get 1 million UPX into the hands of Brown Hype. That would be epic for a first time viewer.
Yeah.
So are you aware how this works, Brown Hype?
I can't. I think the viewers want to know how exactly.
All right.
Very-
Good way to put
good.
it. So we've got 3 wheels here, each with differing chances for differing prizes. The first wheel, the max prize here, there's 5 chances at 25,000 UPX. Tell Cheese when to roll, and she will roll.
Okay, roll.
All right, let's see where we go. This first wheel has been giving away a lot of UPX lately. Let's see if that luck can continue. It's coming around again.
Oh,
Clicked over. All right, so
5K.
you've got 5,000 UPX. You have a choice here. You can bank
Yeah,
that
yeah,
UPX, or you can roll again. Try your hand at 50,000.
I'll roll again.
Roll
Yes,
again.
there we go.
All right, tell me when.
Okay, go.
So 3 chances at 50K on this wheel, but also lower minimum prizes.
Whoa, it went just almost got it. Wow.
I hate that there's lag here. All right, so you've gone from 5,000 UPX to 500 UPX. So we will ask, do you want to bank that 500 UPX, or would you like to go for the 1 mil?
Go for the 1 mil.
All righty.
All right,
So 1 chance
tell
at a
me
mil.
when.
I think he might have lagged out there.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I'm just
He's frozen in the jungle. Oh no.
you're a little frozen there.
Are you back?
You might have to stop walking. All right, tell me when. Uh-oh, you froze again.
All right, just roll it, Cheese. Let's see how we go.
Oh no. All right, let me see. I'm gonna do it where it goes on Ben's face. Boom.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got
Come on,
we've got
good roll, good
agains
roll.
on here. We've got everybody
Did I
wins.
get back
We've got
in? Am I
NFTs.
back in?
You're back in.
Yeah,
yes.
I think we should roll it again.
Oh,
'cause
of
I don't
course you
like
want to
the eye
roll
roll.
again. It's got your
go ahead.
UPX.
Whatever.
All right,
That
go
is-
again. We're feeling generous. That was down to
You
250.
gotta tell me when.
I'm. Go ahead.
All right, so this is the for real one.
I stopped.
No whammies, no whammies, no
He
whammies.
said it's not your UPX. Oh.
Oh my gosh, it's close. Everyone wins 1,000 UPX. There you go. So everybody's
I'll
name,
take it.
everybody's name who was on that wheel, including Dax, I'll patch him into it as well. I shall be sending you 1,000 UPX now.
Oh,
if I-
everybody.
Yeah, you just
Yep.
made everybody win. That's great.
everyone wins. So
Yeah, that's a win. Heck yeah. I'll take that.
Sorry.
I
Ben.
shall be reaching out. Brown Hype, you'll have to send me a DM, please, so I can get your name.
Will do. I will do.
Or I'll
Thank you
put
guys.
I'll put a thing out in the server as well. So
Oh, that
So that
was
was a-
exciting.
everyone
Ben's
wins.
gonna
1,000.
curse me out later.
No, that's fine.
I know. I'm just
That's-
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Everyone wins 1,000. All right, I'll put that together.
Oh my god. Today was fun.
Yes, considering we were not ready at all and we've run long. So yes,
Yeah.
a reminder that to go into the running for the 1,000 UPX wheels, just like Brown Hype did then, you should be in the Zoom at the start of the show for the snapshot that Jazzy Jazz takes. You need to be paying attention in the middle of the show when I drop a code word or phrase, and you need to be here at the end when the wheel starts rolling. If you have an Upland NFT or Metaverse product, service, or event to promote, opportunities are always available for sponsorship and engagement in this, the UDU podcast. Contact myself or More Cheese to discuss and secure your spot. All proceeds go towards giveaways and prizes on the podcast. If we don't have any sponsors, I'll just keep pimping out and spamming our Samurai Aquatics ad at the start. So that's always a bit of fun. Like and subscribe, rate and review, spruik and spam, all of that very cool stuff. Get us the flock out of here. Cheezels.
Wait, what's our contest for next week?
What?
Do we have anything for next week? Or you put that in the
don't know,
Discord?
I didn't do that, did I? Hang on, let me check. Thank you, Cheese. Okay. This week's challenge: get yourself into the Samurai Aquatics server ASAP and keep your eye out for a show us your WAM post that I'll be putting up at some stage during the week. Everybody that submits their WAM will go on the wheel for next week's show at a chance for winning 20,000 UPX.
Nice.
So yeah,
That's
get
cool.
yourself in the Samurai Aquatics server, grab yourself that Genesis wave roll, and drop your WAM when I put that post out there, and you may be able to grab yourself the easiest 20,000 UPX you've ever earned, unless you're a mad treasure hunter. All right, Tragan, get us out of here, cheese.
Later, cheese bags.
Growing, waiting.